Finally, the moment a couple of you have been waiting for.
It's all like bing bong, Jack.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Duval and St. Johns County. The show for Jag fans by Jag fans.
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
Here are your hosts, Franklin and Michael how you say it? DeZoba. Welcome to the Jaggernaut Podcast.
What is up, Jacksonville Jaguar fans? I don't know how you're feeling out there. I'm feeling pretty good.
Duval!
Way to rep.
Way to rep. Out there.
We are 6-2, my brother. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We just defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers, an old-time rival. We've had a lot of interesting games with them. We seem to do pretty good against them for some reason, and once again, we did as well. You got any thoughts about the game? What are you?
Yeah, man, I thought it could have been better. Remember our last podcast I threw out there, I think it was like 38-10 is what I threw out there. It was somewhere in that range. It could have been 38-13 or 38-12 or somewhere in there. And I think we could have achieved it.
Yeah, we were in the red zone a lot, right?
Somebody needs to tell Trevor Lawrence you can't throw into triple cover.
That's the biggest thing. And it's what's frustrating too. And we were watching it and I'm like, he had to have been trying to throw it away. And it was a wet ball, bad footing. But
that's if you want to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I don't think he gave himself the benefit of the doubt. I feel like he said it was a bad decision.
Well, then that means he meant to throw that, and he probably it could have been one of those things like after you do it, almost immediately you're like, oh shit.
I'm sure that's exactly what it is. I just don't know why the visual situation doesn't cue, like the instincts. I would think at this point would be, you would be able to see the black jerseys in the area. It wasn't like they came out of nowhere, I don't feel like. It wasn't like they just came there and by the time the ball got there, they were there. It was like, I think it didn't take long for the ball to get there.
I think one guy came off of coverage and got in there a little bit, but not the guy. The guy that intercepted it was there the whole time. The guy that was behind our dude was there the whole time. That's still double covered. And you're still trying to get it to him. And so, we made some mistakes, but we still won. I still say that this team is learning how to win dirty, if that makes sense, because not every game, it's not going to be 40-0. It's not going to be 40-10, where they just score like a field goal early and then 7 points at the end to make them feel better about themselves.
Right.
This is how you win in the NFL. You win dirty. You capitalize off the other team's mistakes, and I think we did that enough, obviously. And we stopped them yet again, this Jacksonville defense, stopped them from capitalizing off of our mistakes.
Yeah.
You can't do that in the playoffs, but this isn't the playoffs.
Right. It's almost this game's almost a microcosm of the season so far, in that the defense stymied the opposing team, clearly the better, more consistent unit. All told, they rallied around each other in regards to the fact that, the offense obviously scored enough to win the game. But yes, left a lot on the field. This isn't an aberration so far. This offense is not that good.
Execution. It does not execute.
I think the overall feeling that most Jag fans have when you watch, and this goes to expectations going into the season, what part of it was, in regards to the defense, were you going to see the same defense that we saw, which was opportunistic, getting turnovers? This is the defense that we saw to end the season. the last half of the last season. And they have continued that. That's this defense. And there was some possibility that this could happen. That was Mike Caldwell's first season. Takes a while to get get things implemented. Devin Lloyd, they're trying to get him, acclimated. He's a crucial cog. He obviously didn't started out well, but then fell off really quickly. But it's not unreasonable an expectation to see the defense continue its trajectory, and it has. I think what everybody's wondering is like, where's the offense? First of all, the ability for Trevor to make these plays. I mean, he's number one in the league in accuracy in regards to the deep ball, and yet, we're not really scoring like we're capable, like we see it capable. You've got Ridley now, and he's not what we really expected in regards to his numbers. Trevor's numbers aren't what we expected. ETN isn't what we expected either. Now, I did say, and I remember the Tank Bigsby conversation, and I did say, hold your horses on that. ETN is clearly the better back of these two until I'm proven wrong. Now, that is true, but I still didn't expect this from ETN at all in any stretch. And truth be told, I didn't expect this from Bigsby either. Offensive line's kind of what we expected, a little bit.
I actually think that, the offensive line, the last two games has played a bit better.
Yeah, definitely.
So we got the guy Ezra Cleveland. Right, we brought him over in the trade. We were hoping for offensive line help, so we got that. I don't know if he's good or not. I haven't watched him yet. I didn't pay much attention to him. I don't care what Pro Football Focus says, because here's what they say: if you pay me more money, you get better stats. That's what they say. So I don't really put a lot of stock in there, but I want to see him play. I want to see what he can bring us. He is an upgrade to Barch, because we let Barch go. So obviously they liked what they saw from the film. I'm going to continue to trust the mind trust there. Still not a fan of Bulky. He's still got more work to do before I forgive him. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to see them bring in a defensive end, another pressure guy.
Yeah.
That didn't come out. It doesn't mean they didn't try. It just didn't happen. So we got half of what we wanted, what I wanted. We're 6-2, man, at the bye. And I can't remember when we did our prediction whether we thought we were going to be 6-2 at the bye or not. And if I had to say we did, it's because we thought we would probably lose to KC and the Bills, but then beat the Texans.
Yeah, I think 6-2 record-wise is sort of what I was wanting to see and halfway expecting. There was a lot of people saying that this team could win 13, 14 games, before the season began, partly based on the schedule, but partly also based on the talent that they saw on the team. I didn't think that was unreasonable, so I think, 10 games, winning 10 games was the floor for me, but you're looking somewhere around 11, 12 games, and so, I think that being...
don't forget, though, the season gets harder from here on out.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. There are some games where I'm not necessarily, I don't want to say too much bulletin board, even though nobody really listens to us. But there are some games that are losable. So we still got Tennessee twice, right? We still have the 49ers coming in here off the bye. We still got Baltimore. We still got Cleveland. So what are we looking at? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could very well have 6 losses.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. Well, what's interesting is what'll be the storyline, at least as far as Jag fans are concerned, is that when the 49ers come in here, they just picked up Chase Young, and Chase Young was a name, and you mentioned how we were hoping for edge help, defensive edge help, And yet the 49ers have Bosa. They just signed him to a ridiculous contract, and then they get Chase Young too. So you see sort of an interesting situation here. I don't know. There's part of me that goes, is the cap a real thing? And why are we the only ones abiding by it?
So yes and no, the cap is a real thing. And here's what it is. Trevor, Josh Allen, the cornerback who's hurt currently,
Tyson
Campbell. So those 4 guys, they're all major contributors. They're all potentially up. I mean, Josh Allen's definitely potentially up this year. So you're going to have to give money somewhere. Do you have money to pay Chase Young? If you do, you're going to lose it someplace else. So who do you pay to lose?
Well,
now the
49ers don't have the same problems?
No. Brock Purdy's in year 2, and he's getting paid like $100,000.
They just paid Debo. They just paid Bosa.
And they can pay those players because they don't have to worry about Brock Purdy. If Brock Purdy continues to churn it in 2 years, the 49ers are going to be absolute ass because they're just going to be shedding talent because they can't pay them.
Well, okay, let's take this from another angle.
Now,
the fact
go ahead.
The fact that we didn't get a defensive end, do you feel like that means that they are definitely in the mode of re-signing Josh Allen?
Not necessarily.
If they don't re-sign Josh Allen, and then I don't understand anything.
Again, I'm not a bulky fan. A bulky move would be not to re-sign.
That would be a bad move.
That would be a bulky move.
You know what my goal was last offseason?
But I'm saying that would definitely be a bulky move. I like to think that he's learned his lesson, but I don't know.
Well, did you hear the and look, this is just rumor. You can't necessarily go by this, but that we were in negotiations with the Patriots for Josh Uche, but it was like the stickler was a 4th or 5th round pick. What? I mean, we had all these picks last year. Do we have to go through the picks? We drafted a fullback. We drafted Tank Bigsby, who isn't doing anything. I mean, we thought the draft class was good and it could still turn out to be good, but right now we're not getting a great Lacey, Abdullah. I mean, where are the draft picks? There's no contribution. Everybody we're getting contributions from were guys that were already on the team last year. So, the point is that we don't need draft picks. Now, maybe this isn't what, the information gets out and it spreads and you don't know that, is it true or not? I do know we didn't get a defensive end. I thought Josh Uche made the most sense because I think he fits a role where you could get a guy like that. He replaces Caleb on Chase and you still sign Josh Allen, but it gives another guy in the rotation who has that pass rush ability. And you don't need the guy to come in and fill in 1st and 2nd downs. You can bring him in on as a 3rd down kind of specialist to get your pass rush up to try to get the sack numbers up on 3rd down. I thought that made a lot of sense, but we didn't do it. And if that's the reason why, that sucks.
If we're talking about purely just a 4th round pick, I 100% agree. If we're talking a 4th round pick and something else, and we wanted to give a 5th round pick and something else, and then New England's balking at that, well, your team sucks, Belichick.
Yeah, and again, you don't know what it is. I'm not saying. The point is that I assume it was something else. Like in my mind, I'm thinking it's something else. I don't know what it is.
Right, because it couldn't have been a 4th round draft pick for somebody who makes you better. Straight up.
Right.
Like, straight up. Couldn't have been. So, and I agree. And I don't, well, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Bulky. I can't really see him not Nobody on that coaching staff is looking at Chase Vaughn and saying, he's our dude.
Yeah, nobody who's
Nobody.
making calls for us is Chase on available.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
nobody. So we already know what he is. He's a very small time limited role player who will come in and give you maybe 3 or 4 downs of a breather. He's not going to do much, but hey, he gives you some breather. Maybe he does something on special teams. That's all he is. You know. So anyway, we got the 49ers coming in here. We got a bye. How do you think? You said you liked where we were on our bye. We thought it was right around 6-2. What do you think coming up with the schedule?
Yeah, let's go over the schedule real quick. So we got, like you said, the 49ers are coming up. Then after that, we've got the Titans, Texans,
Which are 2
Bengals.
games we have to win back to back.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because you can lose the 49ers game. It's not super important to playoff.
Nope.
Um, you know. Then we got the Bengals, and the Bengals are starting to turn back into the team that
That they were
people thought.
supposed to be. Yeah, but now remember, we took the Bengals to the wire with Urban Meyer.
Yeah, I know.
So
Then we got the Browns, and the Browns are hell of a defense.
they're a great defense, but Deshaun Watson, I don't know what's up with that dude. They can run the ball, but man, they can't pass at all. And I don't think if that's their formula, I don't think they can beat us.
Yeah. So you got the Buccaneers. No, I'm sorry. Did I say the Ravens?
No, not yet. You said
Ravens. Ravens.
Cleveland.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Ravens, and
Cleveland
that's
was
the big one there. Ravens, Bengals, and 49ers are the 3 biggies coming up. Obviously, the divisional games, Titans and
Titans twice and the Texans once.
yeah, and we owe the Texans. We got to get
Yep.
the Texans back. We got the Panthers, and then we end the season with the Titans.
And
you know,
the Panthers are, we should not lose against the Panthers.
So we should win at least 6. And that leaves 49ers, and we got to get, 2 out of 3. So, well, that's probably we're only gonna lose 1 game coming up. You choose which one it is. I guess I'm being too optimistic, probably.
Yeah, I think we probably lose 3 coming up down this stretch.
Yeah, that probably sounds about right.
Hopefully, none of them are to the division foes.
Right. So 6-3.
Yeah, because I think we can beat Tampa Bay. I think we're a better
That
football
puts us
team.
at 12-5.
I think we can definitely beat the Panthers. I don't see nothing about Carolina that scares me at all.
No.
Right. So there's 2 wins. Right. Say we split with Tennessee, which I hate saying, and say we split with the Texans, which I hate saying, but we already have to. At least that's 1 win. Right. So there's 4 wins. So that leaves the Bengals, that leaves the Ravens, the Browns, and the 49ers. So pick your 2 out of those. And it can go either way. Pick your 2 losses, pick your 2 wins.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and it is the NFL. I definitely am not counting chickens yet, but this is the team we hope. And here's the optimistic thing too. Is there any reason to expect that the offense won't get better? I mean, I think that we should expect the offense to be able to hone itself in to a certain extent and become better, because here's what I'm sort of expecting. I'm sort of expecting ETN to kind of come back to reality a little bit and Trevor to sort of move back. Right now, ETN's the driving force of the offense, and Trevor's really more of a game manager at this point. He's not really a dynamic scorer in any respect, and I'm kind of expecting, in the totality of the season, it doesn't appear to be where he's going to match the stats that I had him achieving. But I think that maybe, so he's only got 9 touchdowns, And he's on track for what, 20? He's got to get more than that, like 25. So he's got to get on pace where he's, and I think that all things considered, it will balance out at some point. So we're probably looking at about 25 touchdowns. What do we got? 9 games left. Two, I don't know. That's 27 touchdowns if he can do 2 touchdowns average per
A
game.
game.
So that's kind of what I'm hoping for at this point. And I don't expect like ETN to continue to score while that's happening.
Yeah, I don't see a reason why the offense couldn't improve. I think that at times the offense is out of sync. The passing offense is out of sync. At times the run game's a little pedestrian, So I think they'll be able to try to get that worked out. And so things sort of flow a little bit smoother. If they do, they'll pick up more first downs. More first downs will keep our defense on the sidelines. We'll start to put more pressure on the opposing teams. And then they'll have to face a fresher defense. I sort of like that. That's how you want to play the game, I think. But there's no reason why we could not see the offense gel a little bit more.
Yeah, which we're going to need, because this is getting to the harder part of the schedule, as you've said. Let's move to Ezra Cleveland, because I do think, lost in the negativity of us not getting a defensive end, getting an interior guy is a big deal. And of course, we have failed with our free agent acquisition type players, Scherf and Norwell's. Of course, they still believe in Scherf, but maybe getting him help. Somebody that's a lot better than what Barch and Shatley have been able to do at that position. I mean, obviously that's where he's going. Let's start there. Left guard, right?
Yeah.
I thought about this, and there was some consternation in Jaguar fandom here about Walker Little's position, and I'm thinking, I got no problem with benching Little at this point. Not that I don't think he's probably not the best offensive line we have, so it's kind of weird in saying that. He's probably the best offensive line we have, but Cam's playing pretty good now. You got to continue.
And you're losing Cam next year anyway.
Right. And
you need to free up that money. Yeah.
And Little's going to move over to left tackle. Everybody's seeing that on the horizon. And you never know. I mean, you've got Walker Little in the background, so if a tackle goes out, you lose nothing. Like, you literally are fine. And
preach it, brother, preach it.
And here's the other thing too. Ezra comes in, he plays good. Let's just assume that that's going to be the case, because he can't be any worse than what we've seen. That's my thought.
Well, he probably can. We just don't want to see it.
Yeah. Well, the odds are very slim, in my opinion, based on the fact that most people say he played pretty good in Minnesota. So the thing that I'm looking to see, what's the possibility, and I know Shatley didn't play that great at left guard. I almost think this sort of puts some pressure on Fortner now. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if you put Cleveland there and Fortner still is not.
Is Fortner? Maybe
try Shatley back at center, man. It might be an improvement, honestly, because Shatley played okay at center, and it's not as demanding physically typically as offensive line. And for whatever reason, and we've discussed it, Fortner hasn't played well. We'll move on from that, but I mean, it's just something to throw out there. I mean, it does give you some flexibility, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Now that you're not locked, because you basically have your backup center playing at your guard position, and now you've got basically your backup center and your backup tackle ready to go in case of something happens.
And I think that's a great position to be in.
I think it is too.
So, yeah, so those out there in Jaguar fandom who are crying or don't really understand it, you're probably just Karens. You know, that's what I'm going to chalk him up to.
Well, I get their point. They're basically saying
Why
Walker
bench
Little's the
one of your
best
best
guy, put the
offensive
best
line?
5 on the field.
I
I
get
understand
that.
that.
I do. I get that. But he's just a little bit of the odd man out. You're going to lose Cam Robinson anyway. I think if Cam starts to slip or gets hurt, of course you put Walker in. You
Yeah.
put Walker Little in there. But for right now, no. I'm like, why? Because it solidifies me in case of an injury. We don't miss a beat.
Yeah.
I think that's more important than putting Walker back at guard when we just got a guard.
I'm
Just
surprised.
so he can play.
I'm surprised they never tried to put Cam Robinson at guard.
I think I'm sure they probably
mentioned it practice wise, but nobody really ever
I didn't
saw
see
it.
it out there in training camp, and something tells me he might not have liked that.
He's making money. You do what you're told. That's my position.
I agree. I agree with you, but at the same time, I'm thinking, look, this your last year anyway. You know,
Well, maybe. Well, here's the thing. Maybe you re-sign him, restructure his contract next year if he did. Like if he moved inside and played really well, why wouldn't you I mean, put your best 5 on the field. Walker, Little, Cam. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here a little bit, but
I think you take
you
that
need to
20
protect
million.
Trevor.
I think you take that $20 million back and you give it over to Josh Allen. That's what I think.
No, that's what I'm hoping they do. Definitely.
So
that's that. Yeah, but that's what I mean. If he'd have moved inside and played well, you don't know. There's just people who thought one of the things about Cam is he's so aggressive. He's, kind of a strong guy. If anything, it's he messes up sometimes in technique issues. So it's like we'll put him in at guard, and boy, left guard has been a glaring problem. So
which we fixed it, and I think we're better for that. Right. So we got better. We're a 6-2 team that got better.
Yep.
Or potentially got better. We don't know.
No, we got better. Got better.
Right. So we're a 6-2 team that got better. There you go. I like that. I'll take that.
Tyson Campbell should be back. I'm thinking by the time the bye week's out.
I'm hoping Zay Jones. I don't know. I'm not sure.
We need Zay back because
why didn't they put him on IR?
Zay?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
He's been out 4 weeks.
Hamstring, man. You never know how that's going to work.
Okay, well, they said a knee, not a hamstring. Said a knee.
Thinking Tyson. Okay, right.
So Tyson Campbell, I can understand. 2-3 weeks.
Cisco had a hamstring. That's what it is. Cisco was out with a hamstring, and Tyson was out with a hamstring. Zay's
so hopefully, when San Francisco rolls in here, we have Zay Jones back. We have Tyson Campbell back. We have Andre Cisco back. Speaking of Andre Cisco, and this has nothing to do with Andre Cisco, Dewey, where are you at, man? I threw you under the bus when you dodged Derrick Henry in a hole for a touchdown a few years back. So I'm going to tell you, data boy. There you go. You get a data boy for a great game you played. Showed a lot of heart out there. You were waving, the little yellow towels. I think it was cool. Thank you, sir.
It's weird. I didn't realize this at the time watching it. Josh Allen was the first one to go take a towel. And it was Wingert and Jenkins, Rayshawn Jenkins came up afterwards. And, we'll take one too. That was kind of hilarious,
I thought that was funny. I thought it was funny. I'm sure they're going to get fined.
Yeah. But
that was hilarious. And that's how you can tell a defense is having fun.
Yeah, and I like the attitude. I mean, because look, you built it up. I mean, they built it up. It was stupid. Why are y'all complaining about a little
stupid towel,
tiny yellow towel? Like literally, it's such a crybaby thing for such a tough, hard-nosed reputation football town. I mean, this is do you really Steel City and you're crying about, whining about a towel? It's so dumb. And I've always said that. Like, what is the deal with waving a little towel? It's like, oh, we're going to wave it harder now. It's like, it's so, like, I get it. It's fine. I just don't know. Like, is it terrible though? That's the thing. It's like, I have no problem with their pageantry and
Right.
the tradition. I would do it too. I had a problem when we were trying to mimic that. Remember, we get the little white towels going, and I'm like,
Yeah.
don't do that. That's their thing. If I was a Steelers fan, I'd have had more problem with that. But they call it a little yellow towel. You call it a towel. It is yellow. It's not
And it's
big.
little.
A towel. I mean,
Look,
yeah.
I agree. Our quarterback just defined exactly what it is. He didn't define the spirit of it. He just defined what it is. And they got pissy about it.
Yeah, like Stevie said, "Oh, you mean the stuff you wipe your ass with?" the yellow. Okay, all right, I get that. Like he was over the. I mean, he waxed eloquent about how great the franchise is and how great
How
the
story
city
is. Yep.
and they latched on little yellow towel. Like, come on, man. Do y'all really need to amp yourself up like that? And then George Pickens, like, the whole thing about the hope defense, which is like, that is more of a smack talk for sure than what Trevor did. So, yeah, I liked what they did. It's like, hey, you guys were clearly the worst team. We should have beat you, like you said, probably somewhere around the score you said. And you deserve to have your little towels taken from you
And waved around in
and thrown on the
mockery.
ground.
Mockery.
Did you see where there was somebody that said, one of the fans, and this is where it gets real pathetic, man. The fan was like, and I think he was being serious. It's stealing. They should be arrested. They were. I'm pretty sure they were just like, they were very adamant about the fact that, I don't know about the arrest part. I'm sure that was a hyperbole, but that was stealing. Look at those evil Jags stealing. Thinking, come on, man.
We did steal. We rode into Pittsburgh like we always do, and we stole their hearts.
Twirl it like you stole it.
So, hey, I'm sure those people, if they wanted them back, would have got them back. No, they probably got them back signed by Josh Allen or Dewey Winger. Or
well,
whoever.
Here's the deal. Hopefully we pep them up. We primed the pump because they're playing the Titans tonight. You got your chance, okay? Go get them. We wound you guys up. Go get them.
Yeah.
Show us.
Go kick their asses.
Show us how terrible your towels are. Go get them.
Those large yellow towels.
Yeah. Anything else you want to cover?
No, man, I think that's it on a nice bye week. Enjoy the bye. Unless somebody gets hurt, there's no way we can lose it.
Duval!
It was so good I didn't want to jump in on that. I was going to let you have it. Well, till next week, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Hit the like, subscribe button, whatever. Leave a comment. We talk back.